Hey guys, welcome to Two Beards Podcast. My name's Levi.
And mine's Nick.
Wow, see how smooth that was?
Look at that.
It's like the first time in a long time.
The first time ever. Okay, moving on.
Anyways, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Megalodom.
This is the Ninkasi Megalodom.
That's what I said.
I don't know if this is like actually a part of their series, but I've always considered Total Domination, Tricera hops, like basically the same beer, but the Tricera hops is the double IPA version of the Total Domination. The Megalodom is the triple version. I don't think they call it a triple IPA. I think they call it a legendary IPA.
Weird.
But yeah.
But basically, yeah.
Big boy 10%er. 70 IBUs. I've had a couple of these. Nick is brand new to this beer.
Quite fresh.
My initial impression, pretty interesting as far as just like upfront hop flavors. I quite like it. Oddly though, I think this beer gets better as you go. So your first couple drinks, you're gonna be like, it's interesting. I don't know how much I love it, but then as you keep drinking it, you're like, actually, this just gets better and better. So that's my thoughts.
I think it smelled really good. For what I could smell right now, I'm a little on the cold side. And
Like sickness cold.
Yes, I'm warm. That's why I took my long sleeves off. It's really nice outside. Finally, we get more than a day of rain.
It's
or
not
without rain.
It's not warm at all yet. Like it's still fucking freezing.
In the morning.
Yeah, in the morning. It's real cold. it's literally freezing.
Well, it's legitimately a 20 to 30 degree difference from morning to afternoon right now.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's cold. But yeah, first I think I saw first proper day of sun in 80 days. Welcome to the Northwest.
Blew my mind, and I'm finally happy again. I remember what joy feels like.
No, it seriously is. Like, you get like a day of sun, you're like, oh, vitamin D, hello.
Oh, hi. Oh, my God.
Hello, vitamin D, my old friend.
I feel good for some reason. Oh, yeah. I'm receiving the proper amount of vitamins in my skin.
But it's weird, like, how much, like, you literally feel it, right? Like, it's just like, oh, my God, I'm happy.
Well, and I'm sure, too, like, being
I didn't
from
even
here,
know I was depressed.
Exactly, right? But I'm sure being from here, too, that is only, the interval is intensified, where, like, you just get, you get used to it. You're used to it. So it's nothing new until then the sun comes out and you're like, holy shit.
What is this? Yellow ball of fire in the sky.
Why do I feel something in my heart for some reason?
I feel like this is a sign of the end times, but I'm happy about it.
Is this what a hug feels like? Yeah, so it's pretty great. The beer, though, I can smell a little bit, and it smells delicious. Upon first couple drinks, it's pretty tasty. It's very interesting.
It's pretty hoppy.
Yeah.
It's so one of the things that I don't love about it up front is I think it's got like some mango flavors.
Yeah, so that's what it's got going on. It has real sweet fruitiness.
Yeah, so as you go, I think the hops kind of present themselves more and more. Maybe it's like because it warms up a little bit. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, plus they typically are a company who does like 12-ounce cans or bottles. Mm-hmm. So for them to, not only is it a 10%er, but it's a 10%er in a 16-ounce can, it's like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Just went all out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, this beer released when I was doing Dry January. And Ninkasi is one of my favorite breweries, even though I don't think we've done a Ninkasi beer on the podcast.
We've done Total Domination.
I don't think so.
We'll check the stats. I'm pretty sure we have.
I'm pretty sure we have not.
I know you've grafted all, but have you grafted all?
I have grafted all, and I'm pretty sure we haven't. Maybe we have, but I don't think we have. So I'm sticking to we haven't. And so it's interesting that this is the first one. I was like, man, I hope it doesn't it's not like a super seasonal, like January only release, this special release beer.
Yeah,
I think it's actually not going to be. I think it's actually going to be one of their beers. So I'm excited about that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
like having a 10% beers pretty seasonal usually.
Totally.
Like you think the 120-minute IPA, like that's only released a few months out of the year and stuff like that. It's usually just like, oh, here's our seasonal double or triple IPA. So I'm excited if this is going to be year round.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I mean, having one of these bad boys like in the middle of summer when you're like, all right, today's going to get fucking wild. We're just going to start off with a Megalodom right now.
Oh, yeah. You start off at like 10 a.m. with Megalodom, maybe a little orange juice in there. And you're this is going to be day drinking.
This is the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like you start off with this and you don't drink another one because you just move to progressively lighter beer as it goes. But like...
Still feels the same.
Yeah.
No, this is good. I really like this actually. Speaking of the 120-minute IPA, just kind of perused beer news here. And I had brought up right before we started recording that I didn't realize that Truly is owned by Boston Beer Company. Excuse me. I think there's an alien in my throat and I apologize. But anyways, so Boston Beer Company, most known for their Sam Adams series type stuff. They also own Dogfish Head. And I think I knew that, but completely forgot.
I think we've actually talked about it.
Yeah.
Like some of the biggest breweries and stuff once upon a time on an old episode.
Yes. Like one of the first couple, I think. But yeah, Dogfish Head, Twisted Tea, and Angry Orchard, all owned, and then Truly, all owned by that same company. So, but Truly, that one threw me off. I was unaware of that. It's interesting.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like White Claws, like pop off, and then, any of those top breweries are like, well, gotta have my fair share of the market.
Bud Light has one now.
Yeah.
So,
not unsurprising.
No.
Or not surprising.
Not super surprising. It just, I didn't realize, I guess.
So I actually have something from the Twitterverse, and this person, so I'm not going to mention their name, but it blew my mind.
Okay.
Someone said, hoppier just means bitter, which is why so many people add wedges of fruit to theirs. The moment you have to balance a beer with an orange wedge, it's no good. A good lager or stout is much better.
I have
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to ask you one question.
Yep.
Only one.
Okay. Pitter patter.
Okay. How many IPAs have you added fruit to?
I'm gonna say less than 2 because I'm gonna throw out there that I might have like experimented with something.
Mm-hmm.
But like not counting experiments, it's a big old goose egg, buddy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you there, friend. I, at the very least, have 0 times that I can recall adding fruit to an IPA.
And let me throw this out there. He said lager, and I was like, people add fruit to lagers.
It's actually like a signature. You ever heard of Bud Light Lime?
You ever hear of lager top for you Brits out there? Lime juice and lager?
Chalk top?
Yeah, I was like, what?
I don't understand.
And I'm like this is a hoppy beer, right? This is pretty hoppy.
Yeah.
The flavors of the hops balance out the bitterness. Like the hop profile, like that's what people don't realize. I don't think is they're just like hoppy.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just hops.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but there's different flavor profiles associated, and then people are just going off in the comments, and already I was like, okay, this person clearly doesn't drink beer.
Right, like they're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's like they're your typical
Obviously
person who
doesn't drink beer.
Drinks like literally Guinness. It's their only stout they've ever had in their life when they say that.
And they had it when they turned 21.
Yep. Other than that, they drink Bud Light and for some reason have never heard of Bud Light Lime. And then maybe some PBRs and Miller Lights.
Yeah, and then so I was reading through the comments. It was like I just like wanted to see what was there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone recommends the 120-minute IPA as like one of the best beers ever, and I'm like, that's literally tied for last on our list.
Terrible.
One of the worst beers we've had.
So bad. I just don't understand where they get the idea of the amount of IBUs that they claim to have in there.
And to me, it's like it's a novelty beer.
Absolutely.
Like it's a fun thing to have, share with your friends, get one at some point. But like, I'm never drinking one again, ever.
Like, literally never again.
And for that to be someone's favorite, I was
like I've had one with my dad, and I've had one with you.
Yeah,
that's it.
And we've shared one with Steven.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we took like shots of it basically. But like I can't. There's no more reasons to drink that beer.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for like some of the other stuff that I had in here, and I'm just
you got to think too.
Well, the 120-minute person said, with the exception of Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA, greatest American beer I've ever had.
Wow, that is a bold claim. That says a lot about that person to me.
Another person who has never drank a beer in their life. I don't even think they drink the 120-minute IPA. They just they're just saying like talking like they have.
I think they just drink to get pissed, and then like they're like, oh dude, look at this beer. It's like 18-20%. We gotta get it. Best beer I've ever had.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about, because you and I, as we've been brewing our beer and all that good stuff, which we open in a couple days, super excited.
Yeah.
We were just talking about, like, especially when we were, boiling the malts and all that good stuff, how much that plays a role in the flavor of your beer.
Like the different kinds and like amounts and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like even when we were boiling them, like smelling them, being like that in that moment, you kind of are able to contextualize drinking an IPA, being like, oh, that's where that particular flavor in this compartment of my brain comes from. It comes from the malts. And like, I could see why that would make a difference.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's what's really cool. I mean, even if you do just end up making like a shit beer, like it's a really cool thing to go along the process of doing, and like getting the different smells and like tasting it along the way, I think is important. I think some people just like make it and then wait. Like, yo, taste everything throughout the whole process.
You and I literally did. Like even the like gnarly stuff that's probably poison.
like pure hop gunk that was like left at the bottom of the fermenter. Yeah.
But it really does open your eyes to like, oh, this is where this taste is gonna come from.
Yeah, right.
So that's pretty interesting.
It is, yeah. It's just really cool to be able to pick that apart, and then I think it makes like going back and drinking other beers, like, I don't want to say more enjoyable, but like more interesting,
No, definitely more interesting. Like especially, and then looking at specific ingredients that breweries use, like, oh, they use this malt or they use this hop, and you're like, and like actually smelling the different hops that we picked up is like a big deal, because it's like just helps you like seriously understand that flavor of that specific hop.
Yeah, that's been one of my favorite things. And we've talked about before too, like that's one thing I love about Revolution Brewing Company is they have like their Hero series, and in most of those beers it features predominantly like one hop varietal, and that's like so cool for people like us who it's like, I'm just curious on like what different flavors like this variety is going to give me.
Yep.
And so for something like that, and then like for like when we go to make our own beer, then we kind of have a better idea of like, oh cool, like I remember like trying these hops in this beer specifically because it was like a single hop beer. Like I definitely want like similar profiles in something that I'm going to do.
And that's what you and I did. Like we had a recipe, but we were like, we're going for this kind of feel.
Yeah.
We kind of went back and forth on how we wanted to do that.
Yeah. Well, and then too, like the timing of it all as well, because it's like at different points that you throw it in during the boil, it like extracts different parts of flavor too. So yeah, that was something that we were like messing around with quite a bit. We really like interwove like a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot, and look, okay, let me completely backtrack on that statement already. The one recipe that I've looked at, it's very cut and dry. They'll do like a 60, a 30, and then like a 15, 5, 2 minutes, something like that. Where we kind of went like a lot more like seamless. Like there wasn't a whole lot of gaps between times of when we were adding hops. Like it was pretty.
Is same kind of thing where it was like longer up front, but a lot more intervals for sure.
I think of it like when I'm making anything with onions in it, I personally love to just add onions throughout the whole process of making it to get different textured onions personally.
Gross, but okay.
So like I'll add a bunch at the beginning, because they pretty much cook down to nothing and you don't even feel them.
That's the ideal.
So it's just pure flavor. And then like throughout the process, I'll start adding more and more here and there to kind of get different textures because I love raw onions as well.
And then you'll top it with onions.
Yes.
Right at the end.
No, not right at the end, but yeah.
As a garnish. Onion garnish. Gross.
Nah. Tacos is like the only thing you'll have raw onions on, right?
Yeah. Tacos and salsa, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like onions and curry is good, but like curry, tacos, I don't know if there's much else I want onions in.
It's fair. Well, and a lot of that flavor, it's not masked, but a lot of that flavor is consumed by other things rather than onions. Onions isn't very predominant in that.
Yep.
Like you'll never get like an onion on a burger.
No, of course not.
Not your thing.
Sacrilege.
Disagree, but that's fine. So I kind of glanced over the hops in this beer, and I'm not like completely surprised, but also like it just has like a really cool grouping of hops of a lot of stuff that I've over the years have found that I like.
I didn't even look. Tell us what the hops are.
So, and I don't know if they're in any pertinent order at all, but it starts with Amarillo, Azacca, Citra, El Dorado, Crystal, Equinaut, and Nugget. I mean, Amarillo, big fan of both of us.
Yeah.
So that's right off the bat. Azacca, also one of those ones where we're like, most Azacca things are interesting and we like them, but it's like, it's kind of a weird one, right? Like
it's got a very particular taste.
Yeah.
To me, like it just, you got to use it well, is what I should say. That's
fair. I'm pretty sure it's a relatively new variety as well. I think it's only within like the last 5-7 years that one was made. So
I think a lot of the hops we're ending up seeing now, right? Like I see a lot, just like I think last week or the week before we were talking about lemon drop or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious. Do a little bit of research on that maybe this weekend, like find out when some of these have been created. Because I think like you have a lot that have they're just a thing.
Yeah.
But then there's been like over the course of, however many years that like with crossbreeding that we just have all these new varieties now as well.
Things are just, when it comes to like agriculture, plants are just like, it's just science. Like I know it technically is science, but like I just mean like, you think like, oh, we created this new species of hop. Like it's just, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's like, not really.
Like
really all we did was put a couple plants close together and.
Like it makes sense, but it's like, I don't know.
No, it is super weird how it works. And it's such a, like down to a science that like, oh, if I put this and this together, like I know kind of along the lines of like what I'm going to end up with because this one will attribute these traits and this one will attribute these traits. And it's so weird. Yeah, I mean, it literally goes down to the biology. Like, I don't know. DNA is the right word that I'm looking for, but
I have no idea.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying though. Like
we're not scientists.
No, never claim to be, but sometimes we do.
Yeah. Sometimes we actually always claim we're not scientists.
Almost exclusively.
I bet there's been a time where I've said I'm a scientist, bitch.
I know there's countless occasions I've said science, bitch.
Yeah, I mean 21 Jump Street.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like you do something awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you do that? Scientist.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Bitch. Oops, I closed the notes.
How dare you?
I know.
All of our notes that we've been taking.
Oh my gosh.
So many notes.
Is Australia still on fire? Is that still a thing?
I would imagine they're not, but I don't know.
I feel like they are still a little bit, right?
I mean, you think like Australia was on fire. Asia is all sick. So,
what's coming for us, honestly?
Yeah. Who's next?
So with this whole Australia thing, I was talking to Jack, and he had brought up an old Reddit comment about this dude who just fucking went ham on koalas and how much he hated them.
No, koalas are evil.
Well, and
Pieces
they're fucking idiots.
Yes.
So he starts off, by saying like they have one of the smallest brain to body ratios of any mammal.
I believe that.
And he's like, if you presented a koala with leaves plucked from a branch laid on a flat surface, the koala wouldn't recognize it as food because it's like not in the tree. So it'll literally starve itself before it eats that shit off of this branch that's just laid on flat ground for it. Like, they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Let me read this little paragraph that he just... I like highlighted this whole paragraph because I'm like, this is gold.
Yeah.
Whatever this guy just has to say is fucking hilarious. He says, speaking of stupidity and food, one of the likely reasons for their primitive brains is the fact that additionally to being poisonous, eucalyptus leaves have almost no nutritional value. And eucalyptus leaves is like one of the only things that these fuckers eat. And he's like, they can't afford the extra energy to think. They sleep more than 80% of their fucking lives. When they are awake, all they do is eat, shit, and occasionally scream like fucking Satan.
Yep.
So, koalas are, although adorable to most people, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah. To me, it's just adorable. Adorable is like this, like fleeting thing.
Okay.
Right? There's no depth to adorableness.
No. I think that's part of the point.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you think a koala is adorable, and then you meet a koala, and you understand a koala, and you're like, this thing's not adorable at all.
I immediately think this thing's a fucking idiot.
You meet a baby, and you're like, this is adorable. You spend 20 minutes with that baby.
This thing's a fucking idiot.
You meet my dog. You're like, Ginny's adorable. Turns out she's an evil bitch.
Who screams like fucking Satan.
Yes. So, I think most things that are adorable are just...
It's very surface
they're the
level.
worst.
Yeah.
Even people. You're like, oh, they're adorable. No. Idiot.
Not so much. That's fair.
Maybe I'll just start calling things that I don't like adorable.
That's adorable.
How's that beer? It's adorable.
It's absolutely adorable. Everything about it is just so cute. And then you taste it.
What'd you think of that movie? It was adorable. The idea of it was great, but then I watched any moment of it and it was horrible. Just like Underground 6 or 6 Underground or whatever that stupid fucking movie was. Did I tell you about this?
It sounds familiar, but...
There's a Netflix movie with Ryan Reynolds and one of the guys from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And it's called like 6 Underground. It's these guys who like fake their own death, go on these like secret spy missions for no real skill or context whatsoever, just kind of randos. because Ryan Reynolds is like a billionaire that we don't really understand, and then basically that's the entire movie.
All right. Well,
there's no substance to it. Like the plot doesn't make any sense. The dialogue to drive the plot doesn't make any sense. It's just weird. It's just there's a point in the movie where there's a bad guy and he's like, oh, I really like cauliflower, just like munching down on some cauliflower, and you're like, what the fuck am I watching here?
That sounds like a time.
Yeah. Like you'd have to be real high to like see some of the cool scenes, munching on some Doritos and like just not know what the fuck's going on, but you're okay with it to like that movie. And I was quite sober.
Like not even airplane movie status. Like
no,
stupid.
No, it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And it's like,
and it's not intentionally bad. Like I've watched a lot of intentionally bad movies where it's like, dude, I could watch this on an airplane because it's like it's so bad, but it's so great. It's so bad.
Right.
This was just like, ugh. It was adorable.
Well, it's like, it's adorable. It's adorable that they thought they could really get away with making this shitty of a movie.
Well, it's fucking Netflix, right? Like, I feel like that's 90% of their content. They just keep throwing content out there and hope some of it sticks.
Oh, that's absolutely what it is. That's absolutely what it is.
We know that we'll make enough money to cover the rest of this 90% shit off of these 10% of shows. So we're just going to keep throwing stuff out there. Like they've made like 12 iterations of Stranger Things.
I know it, right?
Like there's Stranger Things. They just released one. They're about to release a show with some chick as the main character. She's like basically 11, but like not.
Yeah.
But has powers like 11. Like it's like Stranger Things 2, but not. End of the fucking world. Like same kind. Like all this is like the same kind of concept. They're like, here, let's just like change. It's like, let's copy our homework, but like change some of the words around. That's what Netflix does. And
they'll never know.
We'll just keep making money off of it.
That's fantastic and accurate.
It's adorable.
It's adorable, really. You guys are so cute. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't have much use for Netflix anymore.
Yeah.
But like you said, that one thing that sticks, it like just makes it worth it to keep at it.
So to me, this is like like Disney Plus just took that model, but just completely knocked it out of the park. They're like, hey, we have no content for you guys except for The Mandalorian, and that's going to last 7 weeks. And just wait until it comes back.
Yep.
Just keep paying us every month until it comes back, and sometime in the future.
Yep. But like in the meantime, here's all this really old shit
that we don't have to pay to do with. We're not making anything.
No. They've had all this for decades,
and you've had it for it's all been on Netflix.
Yes.
So you've had access to all this stuff
on Netflix. As a child, you've owned it on VHS. Like
you could probably have bought them electronically, and
yeah.
But yeah, pay for a Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah, I'm with you. Man, that's the only thing. That's the only reason I want Disney Plus is for Star Wars, and that's it. I'm like very, very painfully slowly going through the Clone Wars series again. The last season is coming out in a couple days. Tomorrow? I think tomorrow actually. And so I'm at a point where I'm like, I think I'm in like season 2 of 6, and I'm like, do I just say fuck it and watch the new season because I've already gone through it, or do I keep with it and then watch it?
I feel like you got to keep with it at that point.
I really probably
you're
should.
Already committed, so
yeah, I kind of am. I'm like middle season 2, so it's like and they're, I don't know, 20 some odd episodes in each season, so I'm kind of deep enough to where.
But they're probably like short episodes, right? They're like 22-minute long. Bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, they're real short, so I can bust like 2 or 3 out a night, no problem.
Yeah.
So, Mandalorian though, got picked up for season 2 I shouldn't say it that way. It's been greenlit, but they have confirmed that it'll be released in October, so a little less than a year after the first episode released.
It's like going to the gym, right? Like they expect that you're just free money from like February till like early spring. Then you'll take another break for summer. And then you'll come back in the fall.
But you won't cancel.
No, you'll never cancel.
You'll never cancel.
You'll keep paying for it. Like they're gonna throw out, the like a solo character short series kind of thing. Yeah. Here's some Darth Maul 6 episode long bullshit. Just to, keep, maybe like they'll watch some subscriptions fall after the second season of Mandalorian, and then they'll be like, "Oh, but you better keep it going because Darth Maul is coming up in May."
And then like all those people and then some.
And at the end of that, they're gonna like foreshadow the next series of Mandalorian, but that's in October again. So you're just gonna keep it going.
Absolutely, what's gonna happen? Honestly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have not. It's weird because they have confirmed the Cassian Andor series and main guys in Rogue One, and then also the Obi-Wan like short series, as I keep calling it. It's not gonna be like a full series like Mandalorian. It's a short,
so whatever that means.
So it'll probably be like 5-6 episodes, and then like. That's it. Like they're not doing it anymore.
When does that even come out, by the way?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
No one knows.
They have not said when either of those series are going to be released. The only dates we have right now is for October of season 2 Mandalorian, and then 2022 is the next Star Wars movie that comes out.
That was my next question. So there is another spin-off or whatever, solo film or whatever you want to call it for Star Wars.
No, they ditched that. So they were gonna do a trilogy and then 3, solo standalones.
Yeah.
And then after Solo, they're like, no, we are not doing a third one, and we're just wrapping up the trilogy, and then we're waiting basically 3 years.
Why?
Because after Solo and The Last Jedi flopped, they're like, we need to slow our roll. Like, we need to stop.
No, I know, but to me, the series is done, right? Like,
no.
To me, it is.
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
Done.
There's a lot of...
Everything's been wrapped up. Conflict solved. Done.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. With these set of characters, yes. So what they're going to be doing is it's going to be Star Wars, but with completely different characters.
But, that's my question.
It's like...
Is it going to be a standalone, or is it a reboot of another trilogy that's like sometime in the future, sometime in the past?
Most likely it's going to be in the past is what everyone's theorizing. And judging by all like random hints and such that they've been given out, it's going to be like the Knights of the Old Republic games. It's going to be like that era. We might see some of those characters, we might not. But it's going to be like really old shit with like completely different issues going on.
See, I feel like, in my opinion, they would be best to move away from the whole trilogy thing, and just tell pieces of stories from like certain characters' perspectives, right? Like Rogue One and Solo. You have 2 main characters, different parts of the universe, but like they in their own way interact with each other. Right? Like, like we have a basis for how the universe has gotten to where it is today, and pretty extensively in the past.
Totally.
So there's interesting characters within those that you could just start telling each of their stories.
Yes.
In each adventure, like
absolutely,
even create some spin-off adventures that we never heard of.
Well, and that's all that like all the like random books that were created that are now considered legends. That's what all those were, right? Where like all these like random fanboys were like, they talked about that character once, and like that
Mace Windu, for example, like
like someone like Mace Windu, like that dude had a whole life before the movies. Like, it had to have been fucking dope.
And now he has like a very particular fighting style that he's invented.
Yeah,
like,
right.
This whole perspective on the Jedis that he's like philosophized and yeah.
Right. Yeah, no. Or even like some of the Sith, like, you think Darth Plagueis that gets mentioned once in the prequels where it's like, that could be a whole thing.
Yeah.
You could just go off on that. And people would do that with like these books that like aren't considered canon now. But it's like you could really capitalize that. Like if you're saying all those books aren't canon anymore, start making movies off these books that aren't considered canon anymore, because you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so I think that's kind of the reason I loved the animated Clone Wars series, is because they kind of went a little bit more in depth into different species and different worlds that, seemed interesting.
It's just, to me, like the story's been told.
Totally.
Of like the Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely.
The story's been told.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just not interested in expanding that even more personally.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I agree with you that like they just gotta branch off of that and like either you just gotta come up with something new, really. Yeah. Like just do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, you think like even the title, Star Wars, right? Like in episode 1, nothing's really happened yet because Palpatine is still like rising through the whole ranks and everything, and then that's when they create the division, and then like now they've ended it. So It's like that whole war, start to finish, even like a little bit before, story-wise, has been told.
That's it. Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
Yeah, like the rebels have won.
Right.
It's over.
Yep.
So it's like,
move on.
Unless you're creating a new war.
Yeah.
2 wars. It's just like you can't just like keep throwing out new Sith Lords but it's still part of the same war, and it's like
so that's why kind of going back to like old Republic stuff can be cool, because you can revisit all these like old Sith characters that have been talked about or like were in video games
for sure.
And then it's more of just like that battle between good and evil, like the Sith and the Jedi, and there's not really a whole lot of politics involved as much as it is like views on the Force and
this whole like overarching war story that's being told.
Right? Like, it's not a war. Yeah, there's not this one overarching
there's
war
certain
anymore.
Factions that are at play trying to gain more power, but like that's a whole. It's
like, just its own thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's more or less just completely separate from everything else that's been told so far.
Yeah.
And so I agree. Yeah, that's kind of the direction that I think they need to go, is just completely separate from all of the stuff that they've been doing so far. Because,
we really went full Star Wars again.
Sure did. It's likely to happen again. Sorry.
And we should rate this beer.
Absolutely should. I actually, I want to drink it pretty quick. It's good.
I know, right? Like I could do 2 of these, and it's a 10%er.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be feeling it there, bud. I'd be in it to win it. About say 3 or 4 of these bad boys, but
you sooner than that. Too.
A little sooner.
1.5.
1.5. I'd be in it to win it. Yeah. Again, for 10%, I just really drinking this, or I want to drink it quick. So, how's it look?
Got a bit of haze, and it's actually got some floaties. Like quite a bit of float. Like I don't know if you got this, but I got a lot of floaties here. A lot of sediment.
Yeah. Look at the bottom, boy.
I know, that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, I got a lot of funkies.
Yeah, quite unfiltered.
Color wise, pretty orange yellow standard IPA. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna call it goldy yellow.
Sure. Whatever you want to call it.
That's what I want to call it. This portion has to exclusively be from you, and that's the smell.
Yeah. Well, give it a go.
So the only thing I got from the beginning,
give it a snink. Give it a good old snink.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm not expecting much, but maybe you'll get a little something.
So the little bit of something that I can gain from this is citrus. That is it.
I'm gonna say it's got a very like sour top end, and I think that comes from like the not like kind of like mango sour. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like mango has like a little bit of a bite to it.
A little bit, yeah.
It's got like that kind, not like pucker sour, not like tart, but like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's got like a.
It's a very brash flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acidic is probably the better term.
Yeah.
But it's got kind of the mango-y sweetness. I'm really stuck on the mango here. And then just the rest is just blasts you with hops. Really, it's just.
So that's what I feel like I miss out on right now, which would be even more delightful.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks. But when I first poured that thing, like I got a good whiff of like it's. I mean, I guess mango would probably be a better flavor for that, but like. A little bit of that, and I kind of got some whiff of some Citra in there. So with a clear nose, I'm sure it's delightful.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Taste. I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Up front, it almost doesn't have a specific thing. It's kind of interwoven. Personally, where it hits you up front with hops, but simultaneously with this sweetness.
You know what I figured out?
Okay.
I think I got this beer. I understand now.
Okay. You mull it over for one more second. Let me get a taste. Have it be fresh, and then hit me. You know.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready. So when you first start this beer, you got a very mango-y, hoppy sweetness, blast of bitterness, and it's got just like this pretty crazy kind of jungly vibes going on to it. Then as you sink down into kind of the depths of the beer, the bottom 20%, I'm just going for the two extremes here.
Yeah.
The bottom 20% of the beer actually gets a little more bready. The mangoiness starts to get away, and I think it's because the floaties have started to settle, so you're drinking more floaties on the bottom. So it's starting to dry out. The hops are really starting to shine through, and less of the melony flavors. And I think kind of in that middle 60% range, you just got like a pretty good blend of just a strong double IPA that's hoppy. Got some nice malty vibes, some nice mango-y vibes, and you're just having a good time. And that's when you start flying through the beer. That's when we start that's when you're like, I could just keep drinking this all day. You get that like 60% middle where you're just like cruising. That's how I think I figured the beer out.
I feel like you've made this beer, to be honest with you, honestly. And well, that's what makes it so beautiful, right? It's so well-rounded.
It takes you on experience.
It really does. It takes you on a journey from start to finish, and it's enjoyable the whole ride.
Yeah, there's not a time, like, to me, that first 20% is a bit much because I don't love mango. It's a little too sweet.
I love it.
But you round that out, you get a
pretty quickly.
You get a base hit,
yeah,
and you're feeling good.
Absolutely.
So,
well, I don't know why it was all capitals. All right, moving on to feel. I think this is a very, even though like how extreme a lot of the flavors are, I think this has a very just IPA feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean that in the sense that like, and I don't mean like a West Coast style IPA where it's like very crisp and hoppy, not a lot of malt flavors going on. Like it just has like a very like middle of the road IPA feel.
Like traditional American IPA.
Yeah. Where you have this like hoppy bitterness feeling in your mouth. It's a very medium body for sure. It's not like too thick. It's not too like thin and crisp by any means. The carb is pretty good all around. Even up till now, it's like it's stuck through.
Yep.
So it's,
I would say maybe like maybe got a little stickiness, a little bit.
You want to describe that for me a little bit more, please? Because I personally don't get a lot of stick.
I just like,
because personally on the back, especially in the back end, I feel like it leaves you with a bit of dryness.
No, it does on. I'm really focusing on that 60% because that's where I feel like it's most even.
Okay.
This part, my mouth is dry now.
Yes.
Like I take it like 2 seconds after I take a drink, my mouth is dry. I think up front, it's nice and crisp, kind of leaves me wanting some more. That middle part is a little sticky. I think that's where you get kind of the blend, if you will, the blend.
It's a blend.
Of dry and crispness. That's kind of where like the syrupy notes kind of really exist. A little bit. Starts coating your tongue a little bit there. But yeah, I agree. Like now that I'm in the thick of the bits that exist in this beer, I'm like, it's draw me out.
It's all desert from here on out, guy. But again, you know what's kind of funny is this beer just leads you into the next beer.
No, it's bad because I just like I'm like, do we keep this podcast going and I just go get another beer? Like I kind of want to, but
yeah, honestly though, because it's the way that it's like layered out, where it starts like nice and crisp but sweet. The body's nice and like thick and blended and well-rounded, and then the end where it's just dry, it's like
I could have another mango.
Yeah, exactly what it is. It's like, God damn it, they figured it out. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. So I feel like in the taste, you kind of gave a lot of thoughts.
I did,
but I don't know if there's like, I mean, kind of like what we said at the beginning of the podcast, where like it's cool if these guys are starting to roll this out year round, because I would love to see a beer like this year round.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like this is where it's like the perfect setting. It's like sometimes something like this just hits the spot no matter what time of year it is.
I would like to say I would love to catch a giant fucking fish while drinking this beer. I would like to catch a Megalodon, giant fucking shark, drinking this beer. The name is just fitting, is all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to steal their thoughts and say, well done.
I think they'd allow it.
Yeah.
So, all right, but overall, what are we thinking? I need to review the stats here, because
take a gander.
Yeah, it's really good, and for a double, triple, legendary IPA, whatever you want to call it, this is going to be rated quite high for me.
You know, to me, this is like, it's the first time I had it, which was last Friday, so almost a week ago. I tasted it and I was like, ooh, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
Because to me, I talked about this in the beginning. The Total Domination and the Tricera hops have a very particular flavor. So I was expecting that, but more, which is the Tricera hops to the Total Domination in my mind. This isn't that. This isn't like a malty, wintry IPA like those are.
Yeah.
This is like just kind of all around, like really up front. It's early, like late spring, early summer.
Yep.
But like the back end, it's like, this is good right now. It's cold outside and sunny and I'm having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, to me, it's just, I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised and I was like, it's a journey. So it's just,
absolutely.
I'm really liking it.
I want to be bold. Okay. Combination of like,
I'm gonna be bold too,
because I want to rate it lower because I'm trying to be fair, but then I also need to rate it higher to kind of round out our ratings. But then also like, I'm just really enjoying this beer.
So I'm gonna go high too, and I'm gonna say this caveat that we just need to keep pushing our ratings. Like,
yes,
like we haven't had a 5.
No.
And I want to have a 5 on the list. This isn't a 5. I'm saying that right now. This isn't a 5 for me. There are things that I could like that I would want to see that to improve upon this beer.
Yeah,
I think it's a little melony or mango-y for me up front. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about it. There's not a lot of things I dislike about it. But but that's why I'm rating it so high. But it's not a 5 to me.
Agreed. Absolutely. Because I think what could be a 5, and I think I still rated it a 4.75. Originally was the Born Yesterday.
Yeah. That's the only beer that stands out in my mind as a 5. Bodhisattva would be probably up there for me, honestly. I think we drink it a lot, so we rate it a little low.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
A beer that's up there for me, like just like classic, one of the best beers ever to me. No, you don't feel this way, but the Leota May, honestly.
No, you've changed my mind.
Probably up there on like top tier beers.
We talk about this where the Leota May and see, what's the other beer that I always think is better than it, but it's not?
Top Cutter.
Is it the Top Cutter?
You always say you love the Top Cutter.
I do love it. I do really like the Top Cutter, but then every time I have Leota May, I'm like, this is just so much better than I think it's going to be.
It just got a flavor to it that's just makes you want to keep coming back.
Yeah, it's killer. I enjoy it.
So I got my number.
Yep. Go for it.
Written down. Is yours written down?
It is now.
Okay. Just don't want any manipulation here.
I understand. It's there.
4.35.
4.3, guy. It's that good.
It's dude, this is a great beer.
It's awesome.
It's just hoppy and it's alcoholic and it's just takes you on a journey. It's great. This is a big old recommend for me.
I'm right there with you. Like I said before, like I don't even have a specific instance that I'd want to drink this beer because it's the middle of winter and I'm drinking this IPA that is like fruity and crisp, but also has like other like fatter, like rounded out notes going on in there too. It's like I just really like this no matter when it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna love this beer. It's got a lot of great things going for it that like I judging it off of the Born Yesterday, it's like it's not as good as that, but at the same time I don't know if I really have any critique to make it better.
Yeah,
like for what
it's just a different beer, right?
Yeah,
like,
for what this is, it's like amazing.
Yeah,
so
it's like great. This style of beer to you will probably, it's very difficult to get to a 5.
Absolutely.
Whereas like Born Yesterday, it checks all of our like lists of beer that we're looking for, so it's no surprise that would be like closest thing we can get to a 5.
Absolutely.
Leota May, right up there with me. Like,
yeah,
checks a lot of the boxes I want.
Right.
So,
but yeah, man. I mean, that's again for anything we've had recently, that's pretty fucking high. So, I'm a fan, and I'm very, very excited if they continue making this year round. That will make me very happy.
Oh yeah, this is just like, this is a perfect like, hey Nick, you want to play some COD today? Yeah, and bring some beer.
Yeah,
and you just pick up a 4-pack of this, just like
that's really all we'll need.
Yeah,
you can, honestly, you could just bookend them. You start with it, drink one or two something else in between, and then end with this. And
throwing a Bodhi, throwing a Leota May.
Yeah, and then end with this guy. That's a good fucking night.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for. I want to do a pairing with like this and like a nice rye whiskey.
Ooh, yeah.
Should like just to kind of sip on during the beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be really good.
Absolutely. So that's about all we got.
We are.
We could stop circle jerking this beer, I think.
Go out and try the beer. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube, ring the bell to be notified when we post, which is a big deal because we're posting more. I don't know if you've seen this, but got a series on Sunday that's been going on. Yeah. We have a series on Friday that's starting up here soon.
It's all mostly beer.
Speaking of, we're not releasing that this Friday, right?
Correct.
So for you, it's this Friday. For us, it's the next Friday.
Yes. Correct.
So yeah, start for you Friday, gaming stuff. Sunday, which you've already seen if you've been paying attention. We're just hopping around some breweries in Tacoma, telling you what you should or shouldn't drink. Yeah. Just giving our kind of raw opinions for 6 to 8 minutes or so, and
that's very key right there is opinions too, right? Because like for people that do watch us consistently, know that we have very specific tastes.
Yeah,
and we try to be honest with even things that we do like hate. We're like, we could see where somebody who likes this kind of stuff would love this, but we just fucking hate it.
Well, the other thing too is like on on the breweries, it's very much more casual. We're doing it up front on the fly. It's not like, here, let me drink a lot of this beer and kind of break it down.
We don't want to dissect it too much. It's very, like you said, casual is the perfect word for it.
Exactly. So it's just like, hey, you might enjoy this beer today on a Sunday where you're doing nothing.
Yep.
You should maybe go to this brewery and try it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then, kind of bringing back the gaming a little bit, bringing it first time to YouTube.
Yeah, we've done some streams.
Yeah.
We might do that again sometime in the future.
Probably.
As things speed up a little bit. But.
Right. But yeah, just bring a little bit more variety. It's mostly centric around beer, but also starting to bring in some local aspect to it, and then also bring back some gaming as well. Some things, 2 things that we both really enjoy. So,
All right. See ya.
Later, guys.